You're listening to the We Are Libertarians podcast network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast on the We Are Libertarians network. I am your host, Jeremiah Morrell, and as always, I'm joined by our co-host, Dakota Davis. Our show is about our lives in rural Indiana. This is a show about folks who are involved in politics. We promise our episodes are going to be fun and an easy listen. We interview people who are influencers, elected officials, political experts, and just folks that we find interesting. Dakota, welcome back to your own show,
We're back. This is the first episode ever in the official Boss Hog of Liberty studios.
We have arrived. We are north of Q Avenue in a unbelievable studio.
It's so exciting. I finished it Wednesday. It was Tuesday of this week, and it was awesome. I had so much fun putting it together, buying everything, because going into this, I had no idea what went into a studio, how to make one, just zero experience with any of it at all. And the most studio I've seen is in Spangle's one-bedroom apartment where it takes up half his living room.
Right.
And watching Mark Maron's TV show on HBO. That's it. So I just bought the panels.
We're like a hybrid between Mark Maron and Chris Spangle.
Yeah, that's what we went for with this one, except Mark's is in his garage. So,
well, we are in an auxiliary bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah. To get into here, you go north of Q to the home, up the stairs, through the stairs, up the stairway, take a right, across the long hallway, beyond the blanket, and then you arrive in the studio.
Right, beyond the blanket. Make sure you throw that in there. Yeah. I don't think that Greg realized that whenever we first started.
So we are not alone. We should introduce the folks at the table so that they're allowed to pitch in at any moment.
Yeah.
So on my right is not Clay Morgan. Clay has taken a day off. He's going to be filling in as our guest host. Greg Lenz, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it. This is awesome.
All right.
It's quite the honor.
And we'll fill you on more, and Greg is in here in a minute. But our featured guest,
hello everyone.
The advertised guest is Miss Cat Anagnos.
Hello, it's so great to be here.
Who are you? Cat is like the you're one of the co-hosts over on We Are Libertarians, the big show.
Yes, I am.
And then people that are from here in central Indiana and all over the nation, I suppose, have heard your voice.
Yeah, they've heard my scatting.
Your scatting.
Yes.
On another big show, nationally syndicated morning show,
yes.
Robert and Thomas.
The Robert and Thomas program. Yes, that is I.
Yes.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. This is very exciting, and boy, has it been a struggle to get here.
You had some trouble finding the new studios? You've been to my place, where we used to broadcast from.
Right, well, the We Are Libertarians vacation home,
yes.
Where the legendary We Are Libertarians parties are thrown.
We were talking earlier that it's like the Hamptons for We Are Libertarians. Everybody comes from Indianapolis, the big city, and then they come east.
It's like Nantucket. It's very nice, wonderful this time of year. But anyways, so I thought it would be there, and I didn't find out until this morning. Thankfully, Dakota alerted me that it would be at the new studio. Now, I had no idea where that was. I'm not very familiar with rural Newcastle, Indiana.
Could you say that again?
Rural Newcastle, Indiana?
Isn't there a second R?
Rural? Rural.
She's a real Hoosier.
Rural.
You ever go to Rural King?
Rural. Well, I don't know. How do you pronounce
it? I'm joking.
No, wouldn't that
Here
sound weird if I said
first of all, we're in the city here. We're in
I'm sorry. Township.
No. The studio is in city limits. Back in the old days when we would go to my place, we were out in the county where we could shoot guns and open burn Darren Jacobs.
Right.
But here we are in city limits.
Okay, right. So
but we are still in rural Indiana.
Rural, whatever. So
go ahead.
I typed this address into my GPS and I noticed that it's on a particular street name that is near one of the Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard. And
oh boy.
What is that old, is it Chris Rock joke that whenever you are near a Martin Luther King Boulevard, that is a bad part of town? And let me tell you, I was nervous driving here because I saw. But as I'm here, it's very lovely. However, I got turned around a few miles away and was in an alley. There were like starving cats running all over the place.
I will tell you this: if anybody listening to this is ever a guest, there are like little island streets north of Q Avenue. Like there's a street here, and it's like a strip of like 20 houses, and those are the streets that it's okay to
There
drive
are
on.
some fantastic streets near Dakota's neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And there are some other streets that you really shouldn't go down. They're mostly rentals.
Well, it was weird. Like I had to
Or
drive
abandoned.
through. I had to drive through the whole these really terrifying places to get here. And so I show up. I dodge all the starving cats and the old ladies like rummaging around in the bins. And next thing I know, I'm at this like giant house with a huge fenced-in backyard with like "Beware the dog" signs.
Build the wall.
Right,
Yep.
and I'm just like, where am I? And next thing I know, like they're helping me park.
There are sharpshooters and towers looking down.
No, there's
out
like
of the
turrets
studio.
and
I
stuff.
went with like the
It's a
like
castle in
the
the
good
castle.
"Beware of Dog" signs. Like I bought them from an actual like custom metal shop.
Right.
I'm like, these people are gonna have to get up, and I got them pretty small, so it's like these people are gonna have to get up to the fence.
You're
and
gentrifying
look,
their neighborhood.
and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, there's like, Jesus Christ, there's a dog right there."
Right, exactly.
A big dog.
It's a trap. You're trying to trap
Yeah.
your neighbors.
And
Not
let me
my
just
neighbors,
tell you,
the people who would succumb to
walkers.
my neighbor's friendliness.
Right. No, but I will say I was completely shocked walking in. First of all, I thought this was Dakota's parents' house because it's very nice. But it is a bachelor pad. It's like, it looks like a modern penthouse that you would find in like downtown Indianapolis, but it's not. It's in Newcastle, Indiana.
It's very Talbot Street.
No, it's so nice in here. And this
It's a lot
studio
of Saturday nights she's wandered into one of these houses.
is
It sounds
incredible.
like an indie.
I know.
Right, exactly.
And you would never know, judging from the outside.
No, not at
like
all.
that's
It blends right
that's the
in.
game.
No, props to you. This is beautiful.
This
looking.
is
Swear to
like-
God, if I
this-
didn't know better, I'd think a gay couple moved into a neighborhood and started rehabbing homes. Like that's
Yeah.
how not
You-
excellent
No.
the quality of the work
Well,
is.
I mean, that's what Jeremiah thought the first time that we ever met.
That's right.
You ordered a Rex Bell yard sign, and you and a strapping young lad were out,
Chase
were out
Payton.
front.
He
both
listens
of you,
to the
both
show.
of you with perfect hair and well manicured nails,
Wrestling on the slip and slide.
playing with potting soil.
Swiping on Grindr.
Yeah. No, they found each
Ooh.
other. They didn't grind it. It
How
looked
was
like
that Newcastle grinder? Pretty active.
I would have to ask.
I think there's been 3 people on it.
Yeah, I don't. It may be pretty sparse. I don't know.
She was like really certain about that.
Yeah.
Is it just a group
What are
of
their-
Subaru drivers?
What are
that-
their names?
What are the name? Well, it's like, I think a custodian of some sort's on there. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
Chloe Anagnos.
She's on there. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I don't even know what to say about
Wow.
that.
We've been derailed.
I do feel bad that your neighborhood, your hood got kind of shamed. I mean, she kind of poverty shamed your
No,
neighborhood.
it's
She
not.
did.
No, it's not where this house is. It's driving to this house that I had to drive through.
That
But here's
shelter down there is where I learned to rap battle.
Hey, but here's
It's
the
right
thing.
next to the Q Mile.
I drove through Muncie, so like from here to Muncie, it is all poverty stricken. Like, you know what I
And
mean?
it's all every bit of it's under construction too on the way in.
completely. Yeah, driving here, like my tires almost popped. Almost had to have Greggy rescue me.
Oh,
He
God.
wouldn't have.
Well, here's $20.
Hitch a ride.
Good luck getting Uber out here.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you can sell the T-shirt I bought you.
Yes.
Yeah. So Kat is she's able to attend our Boss Hog of Liberty podcast because she goes to school at nearby Chirp Chirp University, Ball State,
Yes, I do.
which is not too far from Newcastle.
Hashtag chirp chirp.
Hashtag
Chirp
chirp
I forgot
chirp.
the hashtag before that.
Big football victory.
I just
over the
wanted to
weekend.
make it
Mm-hmm.
clear.
So Dakota's family, I know Greg obviously is the father, and his half sister Bailey
Right.
has started over at Ball State. And a couple weeks ago, we had this conversation, Dakota and I, and Dakota's mother, and
Yeah, we did.
and Audrey Joe, the fiance. We were sitting around the Elks Club here in Newcastle, which Dakota is a prestigious member of. And sometimes he lets me
I
go
am.
with him on the Wednesday nights for the fried chicken legs,
Frog legs.
frog legs.
If-
I didn't
if
want to make anybody think you ate reptiles.
Well, if I have my way, it's going to be frog legs.
All right. So we were over there talking and texting, and we realized that Bailey was getting ready to start, and you were given the task by Dakota that you were going to take Bailey under your wing.
Bailey being my younger sister.
Yes.
Right.
His half-sister. Not Greg's.
No.
No, she's my adopted daughter. Yeah,
Right.
very dearly.
Well,
Wish she'd gone to a good school.
Hey, well,
You and
well
me
here's
both,
the
Greg.
here's the problem, Jeremiah, is that I'm a very busy girl. I'm on another podcast, and I've not had.
Kat, that is not what you told me last time.
What did I tell you,
The
Dakota?
last excuse that you told me was that Bailey looks like she could rip your head off.
She was. Well,
Do you remember saying that she is incredibly intimidating?
I think I do recall.
Do you remember
that.
those words?
I remember this.
I
then
might have spoken those.
So then I sent you a picture of it was a Bailey's profile picture from her Facebook page.
Yes.
And you said, yeah, she could totally rip my head off.
Well, yes.
I told her that.
Here's
And
the problem.
I gave her your phone number.
Right. Yeah.
Has she reached out to you?
She has not. See, communication's a two-way street, Dakota. She's not reached out to me.
Yeah, you
she's
should
waiting.
You should definitely wait on the incoming freshman to reach out to the
Yeah.
senior.
Here's the problem.
The
She's-
senior.
I was going to reach out to her, and then Spangle ruined it for me.
Oh, shocking.
You know what I mean? He texted your sister
Yeah,
first,
he did. He
pretending to be me,
And
said
then-
weird things, then
Yep.
pretended to be Greg.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
I didn't think that was real. I thought that was joking.
No, he
No, that
literally
really
did
happened.
this. So then I felt awkward texting her that same night saying, hey, this is the real cat. Like, she had already gotten, 15 messages.
Well, you should probably do that now.
I will.
We'll wait.
I will.
We'll just let
If you don't, I'm going to be really disappointed.
But here's the thing.
Kat.
How's she adjusting?
She-
What does she need from me?
She loves it.
We thought you were
Great.
going to get her under a sorority and take her under your wing.
Listen,
But now we missed
My-
Rushwick.
To be fair,
My mother has
Kat
a
Anagnos endorsement.
doesn't get
my-
you a long way.
my mom has a coworker whose daughter also just went to college the same time that Bailey did, and her daughter was having panic attacks, was freaking out, like throwing up in the dorms, and
Ew.
because she was so homesick after like 4 days, and
How
so,
far away do her parents live?
is like an hour.
Okay.
She goes to somewhere in India, I
Dramatic.
think. And and so anyway, my mom like hasn't heard from my sister for like 2 weeks, right? So she texts Bailey and she says, "Hey, are you doing okay? You adjusting well? You homesick at all?" And Bailey just says, "Nope, sorry."
New phone, who dis?
New phone, who does? No, that's how it is at Ball State. Like, the majority of the kids just don't ever call home again.
Yeah, I mean, my parents raised us though to be fiercely independent. As soon as I turned 18, it was like I'm finding
Released.
a house. I'm getting a house somewhere. I'm moving out.
They made it. They made it
Podcast.
just uncomfortable enough to get the hell out.
It wasn't even that. It was just like, my parents were very active. They're like very active people, always going on trips. Like they like to travel and stuff. So it's like, I was home all the time by myself. Like 75% of my high school career, it was just me. Like I
They
was
just kinda
cooking on
dropped
my
you
own,
off
doing
and
stuff.
said, "Make it
Yeah, I
home."
mean, that's just how it was.
I am my own babysitter.
You know, Richard Branson's mom did that to him. He was he's dyslexic, and so his mom, to make sure that he was resourceful, would take him out into the English countryside, give him a sack lunch, and say, "Make it home." As a child, I always thought that was
Sad.
savage. No,
It's
he's a
terrible.
billionaire. Virgin Airlines, Virgin.
My
Records.
At
my
least he got a
grandfather.
sack lunch.
My
What a
grandfather
wuss.
used to drop off his
Didn't have to hunt for his own food.
his youngest son out in the middle of the desert and tell him to find his way home when he mouthed off to him. He was probably 30 at the time.
Oh, that's
but
different.
he had it coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So what did we do this weekend?
Well, we had a big birthday party for
That's
Chris
right.
Spangle, the dear leader, the head
huge
honcho
birthday party.
of the We Are Libertarians empire.
And we were all here, right? Like everybody in this room. We were all
Let me see,
there,
look
right?
around here. Audrey Jo sitting in the back. Your
Whoever,
fiancé.
if there was a person that's
My-
not there,
my
is
girlfriend
an
Sarah
they're
was there.
extreme loser.
And
if
of
they
course,
weren't
Greg
there.
made it.
I think we should all raise our hands if we were there.
Okay.
Everybody-
Everyone take a show of hands here. Oh, no, Kat's lying.
That's fake
Her
news.
hand-
You were
I
fake
was there in
news.
spirit.
Oh, were you?
Man.
I was.
You cannot scream
Listen,
into the microphone like that.
But here's the thing. I had let him know. It wasn't like I just decided not to show up. I had let him know 2 months in advance that I wouldn't be there.
Right.
So I count that as a good friend.
How did you know 2 months in
You
advance?
did.
You're like,
I
you're
guess
like,
for
listen,
sorority
I hate
recruitment.
you. Like, I like you enough to like see you once a week, but if I'm going to see you that week and then have to go to your birthday party on
It's
a
too
Saturday,
much.
not doing it.
No, I
The
knew
man
about sorority
scheduled-
recruitment.
The man scheduled his birthday 3 months in advance on his birthday, and you missed it.
Well, listen, I would have been fined at least $1,300 if I didn't go.
I thought it was 300.
I
thought
heard
it was
300
300.
was the quoted
Yeah.
number. And I was-
300 for the day.
We were going to do a
Say that,
GoFundMe.
16, 19?
You're fake news.
I know. I lied. I just didn't
Did
want
you
to
know you were
go.
walking into a hornet's nest?
I kind of knew. Jeremiah was so polite to send these show notes.
These show notes are provided by Dakota Davis.
Jeremiah
and
was so
I
funny.
object to them as much as you do.
And I noticed
these are obscene.
Under every little chapter, little subheader we have here, one of the topics is Cat missed it. Cat missed it. Cat missed it. Cat was not there. Cat doesn't count here. Cat was not there.
Yep, it's a weekend recap. Dear Leader's birthday party. Cat missed it.
Look, I was there in spirit, and it looked very fun.
There's a wall live that happened on
Monday night.
9/11.
On 9/11 they had so it was Chris Spangle, Dakota Davis was a special featured guest, and of course Greg, as always, on the We Are Libertarians. I was under the impression that I was going to be called up. And
you were supposed to, and I don't know what Spangle.
I think he was playing a game, and he was going to troll me by not calling him up for a while.
The one person he invited up before you, I was like,
and then he forgot.
Lord.
And then he forgot. Yeah.
Hashtag triggered.
Yeah. No, honestly, I was super proud of Dakota. He did great. I was
fantastic.
I was
He was a
thrilled that he was up there. That was cool. I would have liked to have known because it was a 2-hour podcast and I had to pee and I thought I was going to go up there at any moment. So the bladder was crying by the end, but it was all right. It was fine.
Yeah, it looked great. So glad I was there.
Yeah, you did really well.
Thanks.
You're really growing into your role as a co-host.
Uh-huh.
How many do we have?
Non-existent.
Did you watch it at all? Did you watch the video or anything?
No, I did. No,
You
but
did, and you heard what Greg said about you being absent.
Actually, I didn't. I lied.
It's no.
Just a serial liar at this point.
I know.
He said that you never have to apologize for an absence. It's always welcome.
Great.
You can miss as many times as you want.
Oh my God,
it's
Greg,
not
that's
a big deal.
so sweet of you to say.
People say I'm thoughtful.
Hey, but I will say once again, I had a great excuse. I FaceTimed Spangle because I told them both I was sick, and then Spangle tried to pull the old, well, just come for the last half. Just come for the pictures. And so I ended up FaceTiming him. 1 second of him opening the FaceTime saying, oh, dear God, you really are sick. That's, you know what, that's fine. Just stay home.
Spangle did a wonderful impression of you. He said, I opened up FaceTime, and Kat said,
No, I was literally laying in bed with soup. I was like,
he said you went.
You've made a
Chris,
miraculous rally.
my voice.
I appreciate you applying yourself to make the Boss Hog Liberty podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This
because
is,
we saw you a couple times this week in our group video chat.
What was I doing?
And you lay on the charm that thick.
Wait, what do you mean you saw me a few times?
You were sick.
You dialed in.
Oh, yeah, I did answer,
with your
didn't I?
Chloe Anagnos glasses on.
I did.
You had your glasses on. You had your hoodie
Oh,
up.
my God, yeah, I did.
You were
Okay, yeah.
sitting there and you're
I
like-
was not well.
Pulled your Trayvon Martin impression.
I know. I had a
said-
bag of
you said,
Skittles
"Guys,
and some
I'm-
Robitussin.
I'm dying.
No.
You had the guys. I'm dying.
I'm dying, guys. No, I do have a little water bottle with a nice little tissue box right next to me.
Remember when you went to a toga party the next night and I talked to you and you didn't have any of this sickness?
We don't need to talk about that.
Interesting. Okay.
A lot
man.
of fun at the college.
So next on New Studio, let's talk about that according to the
so
show notes.
we need to send some thank yous out here.
Yeah, we do.
To thank. Of course, we're not done with the upgrades, but we've had a GoFundMe. Specifically, Christy Avery, Sarah Potter, who's here in person, David Herring, and Craig DaCosta have all kicked in. Listeners, all, and
Yep.
we appreciate their
Huge
support.
thank you, and another big thank you is to MVP Barbershop,
Of course, yes,
for advertising on the show.
the official barbershop of the Boss Hog
Yeah.
Liberty podcast.
Gave us, yeah,
That's Clay's. Yes, that's Clay's.
And,
Absolutely.
I didn't know if he wanted that note.
Oh yeah.
yeah. He-
No secrets in this town.
Well, I just
Open
don't-
book.
we have toxic associations on our show, so I'm always careful about that.
Right.
we had, yeah,
We haven't
just
gone
a
completely
huge-
toxic yet. I'm sure in time they're
Never
going to be sorry
intended
that
to,
they've.
and then Spangle started talking about his aunt at church, and next thing you know, associate pastor, and it just went downhill.
Oh,
You get the
yeah.
custodian on Grinder, and
Yeah.
It just
Started tapping
it
his
just
feet in men's restrooms.
Just start
Carry on.
circling the drain.
Yikes.
Next thing you know, you're a senator from Utah, or was it Utah? Is it Utah or was it
Fully?
Alaska? Was
love
it
Utah.
Ted?
Yeah, well,
who was
Ted
the
A
guy?
with an A, right?
He's the guy that died in the plane crash.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Oh,
or
man.
was it an M? It was an M.
Come on, Kat. Know your senators. Senators for 1,000. He was in a Minnesota
She
bathroom.
has no idea who you're talking about.
yeah, I have no clue. what's going on.
Somebody's yelling at me. Ted Stevens.
everybody okay?
Is it Ted
Ted
Stevens?
Stevens.
That
Senator
was the
Ted
guy.
Stevens.
Yeah.
Lion Ted.
Yeah. the
Wrong
original.
Ted, wrong Ted.
OG Lion Ted 1.0. So yeah, we need to thank those guys for the studio. I have more notes here, of course, and my co-host has wandered away. I don't know.
I know. This is
We've
very
upset
interesting.
him. He's run away.
Was it the Ted Stevens thing?
It might have been. Maybe he was a big closeted
That's his
Ted
uncle.
Stevens fan.
Oh my God, you guys.
Oh my gosh, it was Uncle Ted.
He basically just came to shame Cat and then left his own house.
And then
I
it's
know.
over.
Honestly, I
Awkward.
support it.
Yeah, that's okay. Man, so we're trying the next step here. We're in the new studio. I'll describe it, and I will brag on Dakota. Even though he awkwardly didn't let me come back and help, I helped put the floor down, and then he just sometimes he doesn't let me help.
Really?
This forced friendship thing, he gets nervous about it.
You two are like regular besties on home improvement projects.
I know. I try. He's
Very
helped me.
mutual aid society.
He helped me we're like barn raisers out here in this part of the country.
You guys really are. You're one like home improvement project at a time, upping property values.
Yeah. So for my birthday, I went out and bought all of the everything I needed to put a power outlet out in my backyard, my patio area, so that we could have karaoke or run a fan or whatever we needed to do. And then, of course, I helped Dakota with the laundry room, and then he ordered all of the supplies we needed for the floor here, and then I helped him put those in without really him giving me permission to come over. Sarah and I just did that one night, and then
It sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah,
to how you had a $7 monthly donation named after you on We Are Libertarians.
sometimes people need their friendship forced, Greg.
No, I agree. Every
just-
time you've done it to my co-host, I have wholeheartedly endorsed
Yeah.
it.
Most friendships start as a hostage situation, and you work from there.
Well, the thing is, you'll just find him for days on end, just laying in front of his fireplace that he buys the bagged firewood for, petting his cats. And, he wonders why he gets into a dark spot, and so you just need to go invade the place.
All I need is 5 bundles of wood and 3 weeks of quiet time.
I don't know if it's common knowledge, but I'm pretty sure he spent his entire Christmas bonus on premium firewood from Lowe's. Or no, Menards. Sorry, scented.
He is the one guy that pays that true retail like $14 for 5 sticks of firewood.
That is the one thing he's an absolute stickler about on premium branding.
Yes.
He wants the elite, and it's not because he likes the smell; it's because it's easy to carry up.
Yeah, he wants the handle.
You offered to get him all the firewood. I put it in the back of my truck. I'd come out here, we'd load it up. I'd take it to him, and he didn't want to do it because it'd get messy.
Yeah, with Memorial Park, of course,
Yeah,
we have the
firewood.
$30 for a truckload of firewood, or $35, and no, I want the. I mean, that would have been like the equivalent of $10,000 worth of firewood for the man.
I think he just likes the orange nylon handles.
That's the way it goes.
Do you think he saves them?
No, he doesn't save the bags. I know that. He's not a recycler.
He just wants to bring them in.
Gosh.
So Dakota, what we're sitting here in the new studio, and it's got we've got tiles up everywhere. We'll release some pictures, and of course there was a Facebook Live. We've got a beautiful table that's got this stretched fabric on it.
Yep.
Circular, 4-foot diameter.
If you've ever owned a morph suit, one of those things,
Yeah.
it's like
Yes.
the exact same material.
It's very close.
No, I know. I keep putting my
it's
hand on it.
like spandex.
Just playing with it all
It's a-
weird.
I thought it was Jared's leg.
It was
so a little weird
advertised-
at first.
It was
No,
advertised
keep doing that, Kat. It's fine.
Oh, right. Oh, that's Greg's? Weird.
Oh,
It was advertised
That
as
isn't a leg.
a wedding tablecloth, and it's black. So it's like, oh,
the
I
best
support
part
it.
is you can recycle this for your wedding here. That's just not like
I
a
don't
month and a half away.
think black is in traditional wedding colors.
Black and yellow.
Black
Those are
and
the colors I plan on using on the big day for me, whenever that is.
Is that so?
Somebody's shaking her head off in the distance. I don't know. Dakota, the guy gets to make all those decisions, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's ours to do whenever.
Yeah, we do everything,
Yeah.
right, Audrey?
Music selections, colors,
She's
attire.
looking at me with
location,
hatred in
times.
her face.
Yeah.
No, I will say Audrey has done everything for the wedding. I sent a check to the DJ, and that's all I've done.
And you were allowed to add some people to the guest list, right? Your father, your
That
father's coming.
That wasn't even me. She baked the man a pie to get him to come.
She apologized.
The best pie, but my co-host did steal your pie pan, and I'm pretty sure he's holding it hostage.
It
so I
still
apologize
hasn't come back, has it?
No, it hasn't.
Because I was going to take it, and he just he really liked that pie, and it was really good and
He just-
looked appetizing, but he really, really liked it.
He
And
just takes
so
it back and smells it sometimes
I
and
just
thinks
wanted
of
to
the
give him a little
cherries that used to
happiness,
be in there.
but I apologize about the whole hostage pan thing.
Right. He gives us so much.
I take friends hostage,
He
and he
provides
takes pans
sustenance.
hostage.
We have some artwork on the walls in here.
So we have, we have the Courier Times from that time that we were a big deal, and we made the cover of the local newspaper.
Absolutely.
20,000 person
First of
circulation.
many.
And then we have the genius of Ron Swanson and the Pyramid of Greatness.
Yep, the Ron
Adorning the
Swanson
wall.
Pyramid of Greatness. A couple of things on there is capitalism is God's way of telling who is smart and who is poor.
He's not wrong.
The very top is honor.
Honor. Honor is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I have the T-shirt somewhere. I don't have them memorized. It's been this came out God, you were probably in junior high when that came out, Dakota. It's been so long ago.
And behind you, Jer, is a Doctor Who poster. I used
You're a
to
nerd.
be
Jer.
huge like
He's got the Doctor Who, and I do the Pokemon Go.
Language.
yeah, when I was in when I was in high school, I was a huge Doctor Who fan. Like, couldn't get enough of it, and that's where that poster came from. But I will tell you, we have new artwork on the way to replace this poster because I don't watch Doctor Who anymore, and it is a canvas framed in wood of a Rick and Morty landscape.
Moving on.
What is your favorite?
And then on the
Doctor?
other wall,
Or
there
who?
will be a
Tennant.
framed canvas of Dakota and I at the microphones.
Yep.
Aw,
And
holding
then
hands.
behind
Holding
Greg up there is a map of the province of Skyrim. Like I said,
that's the
Oh,
video
love
game.
it.
That's the video game where you walked around with your hands on fire the entire time, right? I remember that.
Yes.
I remember watching my
you
cousin
don't-
Nick play that game.
you don't have to walk around with your hands on
That's
fire.
the only
it just
thing I
depends on
remember.
what kind of character you make.
If you're one of the fiery hand lords, you walk around that way,
Right.
mining
it-
bitcoins and,
I still
and taking
love
over
Skyrim.
nations.
And then we have our bookshelf over here, adorned with great books.
I see a pistol. I see a Hillary Clinton nutcracker, and I see a Rex Bell for governor yard sign.
There is a piece of Doctor Who memorabilia sitting on there. It's a collectibles. A collectible
You know, we
piece.
beat them in the war. You don't have to watch their television.
No, that's Britain, right?
Right. We beat them in the war twice.
They were our ally in the war.
Not the first time.
God.
America,
Not the
where we
first
stab you in your sleep on Christmas.
And our books, our collect.
The only
our
thing about
collection of
British
reading
culture we
is,
should appreciate is whose line is it anyway?
I like
Yeah,
a good fish and
we'll,
chips.
We'll keep calling mockery
Do
the
you really?
Canadian.
I love fish and chips.
I
Authentic,
love.
like-
Yeah,
I love shepherd's pie.
shepherd's pie is
Is
good.
that Irish?
No,
No.
that's British.
It's British.
all
It's
European.
literally pie topped with mashed potatoes. It's like
Oh
pie with a
my
mashed
God.
Oh
potato
yeah, I
crust.
know what it is, but that is not at all English.
I am such
Fingers
a,
and mash.
yeah.
That's good,
Audrey just picked up her coloring book that she got for
A collaring
What
book?
grade are you
yeah
in
that
now?
she got for Christmas.
Hey, that's very good. It's very therapeutic, Greg. Don't be so narrow-minded.
A couple of the things that you can color in here. It's a holiday coloring book.
It's like an Amish. fidget
This one
spinner.
this one is a picture of Santa Claus, and it says "Where my hose at."
Oh,
Collaring book talk.
This
with
one,
Dakota.
this one is blockhead letters, and it is a Christmas tree, 2 snowmen, and another Christmas tree, and it just says "Dickhead."
So what would it cost us to build this sort of a studio? Obviously, we've received some donations, Dakota, but we have not quite covered the
Self-portrait.
She did decorate some of those. We haven't received enough in donations to cover all of the expenses that you've spent and
we
what
have not.
your phase 2 plans are.
Right as it stands right now, and like we don't even have a door on this studio yet. We have a blanket covering the hole in the wall for
Do
the
we need a
doorway.
door?
It looks like a blanket
We-
you bought in Cozumel from a guy named Pedro,
Yeah,
which is different than the Pedro that's in your family.
It,
kit.
Right.
It was in the back of my Jeep at one time, and that's like what the dog would sit on. And that's what
Right.
the entire purpose of that blanket was for. But so far, I've spent about $800 on this studio.
You did an awesome job.
no,
I
it
just
looks
wanna-
ridiculously good.
I'll tell you what, though, you may have started an arms race with my co-host, dear leader,
It-
because he will not be studio shamed.
he won't.
He's very much a keeping up with
Well,
the Joneses when it comes to studios.
I will say this: it was Chris gave me a lot of the ideas for this. Like, if you look on the ceiling here,
That
we
was
have
smart praising him.
the soundproof. Oh yeah, and then he also told me about the corners. So instead of putting down like the wooden quarter round that I bought, I just folded up the soundproofing tiles and put it down there, and it worked really well.
The nice thing too is when you bring a young lady back, this isn't your living room, because the first thing when he brings a girl home from a date is the podcast studio on
Right.
the right.
That's true.
And
You'll
then
notice.
and
You'll
then the
notice
kitty
all of
litter
the
box in the bedroom.
You'll notice
Here are all
the,
my collection
You'll notice the
buttons.
lights and the camera and the couch on the right, but we'll walk past that. For now.
Want a
See
job?
if I were to do that, then it would be like, oh hey, do you want to see my home studio where I do the podcast at?
Where I think and
Of course,
read a
your
lot of
fiance's
books.
over your shoulder, just shaking her head. Do you want to see my home studio? Oh, your art studio? No, it's for my podcast about libertarianism.
You wouldn't get it. It's really deep.
Yeah.
You probably
just
never heard of
wouldn't
it,
understand
like the Avett brothers.
Oh, we missed a poster, Jer. I'm really proud of these posters.
Okay.
So we can't miss this.
Oh,
one
the
because this
game,
is-
the one that you have
Yeah.
about the gnomes.
well, this is the gnomes. This poster is probably the most important that's in the room right now, and it's the Game of Thrones poster.
Oh, I do love it.
It's Daenerys Targaryen up there saying, I do not have a gentle heart. Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Why did you have a rage fit and break the corner one day?
Actually, like, that frame is so stupid. Like, it came and it was warped.
Is
So-
it like, did it come with it, with the poster? Like
No,
you
it
picked
didn't.
the option.
It
Oh, so you
didn't.
bought a specific frame?
Yeah.
Where from?
Walmart.
You
it's a
should
Walmart
shame them on
poster.
Twitter and see if they'll send you a replacement.
Well, it's going away. I bought a tapestry for over there, and it is actually
A tapestry.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
that,
part of
I was
Indiana
gonna-
am I in?
I
You
was
bought
gonna-
that at Rural King.
I was going to let that go. What the hell is a tapestry?
No, this is actually a banner from the TV show.
But do you know the pronunciation?
He reads.
a tapestry.
There it is.
There we go.
Okay.
He is well
It's-
read, but
He
I
is.
don't
He's
think
very
he knows.
smart.
He doesn't use the words out
He has
loud.
to read
Well,
all
when in
these
Henry
books.
County?
Oh my God! I graduated from Tri-High.
Were
What
you
can you
valedictorian?
expect from me? I was 12th in my class
That's good.
Out of
Out of
20.
17.
out of 84.
Petty.
That's actually very good, Dakota. We're very proud
Thank
of you.
you. My
Congratulations.
friend Chase, the one that you thought I was gay with, he went to a small Christian school out in on 38.
He went to
and,
the Baptist Academy.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, that's the one he went to, and he was the valedictorian of his class of 3
Well,
I was the
Wow.
valedictorian of
It's
my
only the
class,
10
and I
commandments.
never bring it up.
because
were you really?
Yeah.
because your mom told you.
Hey, Jeremiah, you're the best.
Jeremiah, I've heard that you.
They didn't
have been-
graduate another kid from my school until 2006. There was like 5 years between
dry
between
story.
Jeremiah,
graduates.
I've heard that you were homeschooled your entire life, even in college. Did you homeschool college?
So here's the thing.
Online classes count as
Here's the
college
thing,
homeschool.
Kat. I am probably the single. This isn't even a probably. I am the single most qualified person on the earth to talk about education,
Okay.
bar none, Bittner or anybody.
Lies.
Because from kindergarten through 6th grade, I was a public school student, and I attended 4 different public schools
Wow.
in 2 states.
Had a little trouble.
Yeah,
So-
I was kicked out a lot.
Did you?
And then I from 7th grade through the end of my high school time until they said I was done. I was home educated,
You were
and then I took a couple.
So formal.
It was home learning.
Right.
I'm not a housewife. I'm a domestic engineer.
Exactly. And then from that point on, I was I joined the workforce directly out of home education.
Okay.
Took about a year and a half off. Worked the same place I do now. I was like Ron Swanson. I was running the floor by the time I was 14.
Okay.
I literally started in the
okay.
building I'm in now. When I was
Which
15.
one of us actually started working when we were 12?
I
Like
started
Ron
when
Swanson.
I started when I was 15 and got a W-2.
I started when I was 12.
We got a W-2.
No, because I worked for cash like a real libertarian.
That's fake news.
Yeah. Let's say
I work for cash as well.
So, well, okay.
strip club
Well,
isn't work study. Kat.
taking your clothes off is not work.
Well, some would argue.
Unless you're one of those 800-pound woman from My 800-Pound Life on TLC.
Listen, I hide
That-
my weight,
that is a
weight
job.
very well.
My goodness.
Well, it's expensive for the crane.
I got a
Right.
2-year degree from Ivy Tech in
Okay.
the classrooms.
Okay.
No online classes.
Okay.
And I was a multi-campus student
Oh.
at Muncie, Shelbyville,
Okay.
Greenfield, and the big campus of Indianapolis, the North Meridian campus at Fall
Oh
Creek
my
and
gosh.
Meridian. I was all over the place.
Wow.
I was big time.
You could have
And then
I noticed that you have to go to a lot of places to receive an education. Do you think that are you self-conscious that, no one just wants to give it to you all in one place?
He's
They
too
have to
smart
spread
for-
you around?
I had to
that.
force a lot of friendships in my college time.
Yeah.
You seem to have a shelf life everywhere you go.
Seems like you had to
education-related.
force acquaintances, you had to
And
force
then,
classmates.
and then I attended the prestigious private university. So I went to a public 2-year school.
right.
Man of the people.
And then I went to a prestigious public university Christian school, Indiana Wesleyan
Wesleyan.
University, at their Shelbyville campus, which is now closed.
There's Shelbyville.
It was
campus.
it was
See
a-
why it's closed.
That's like the Danielson Center in Newcastle.
It's like
No,
saying
it was-
I went
it was
to
much
Ball
nicer than
State,
that.
Richmond.
Yes. The first day I went to the Indiana Wesleyan campus in Marion was the day I walked to graduate. I was like, this place is awesome. I should have come up here more.
You did it all in Shelbyville?
I did all in Shelbyville.
Well, it's
So
beautiful.
you-
There's a
you-
casino.
Except for, it's just, it was
There
it's in the Intelleplex, which is for the smart people.
right.
It was at 9 and 74 there in Shelbyville, at the middle exit. There's the casino exit, the 9 and 74 exit, and then, of course, the 44 exit down by the Walls marked. Yeah.
So you said that you got kicked out of class a lot. Were you one of those troublesome kids that were continuously vandalizing our Newcastle city parks?
if I lived here at the time, I probably would have been an absolute terror. An absolute terror. So what's going on? You have from the studios north of Q Avenue, which runs by the park, Parkside, Q, and Trojan Lane. Same road, 3 different names within 500 feet here in luxurious Newcastle, Indiana. We're very close to that. We don't want to give away the studio because we don't want too many gawkers. I know that someday this is going to be like Motown, Hitsville, USA, where there's going to be signs out front.
Oh yeah.
But for now, we're going to let this be a secret.
Yeah, first studio of Boss Hog of Liberty. There's going to be a sign.
The first
out front.
official studio.
I'm just waiting for like my fans to pile up outside of Ball State.
I'm sure it's going to happen.
That probably won't happen.
It's kind of happened. No. It's happened a little bit.
Has
We
it
won't say
really?
names.
Wait,
I've been
has it?
reached out to a few times.
Has that really happened?
Yeah.
It was a surprise thank you on her front door.
Yeah.
Did they say open
hi.
Bob's?
What?
Show Bob's. My goodness.
No. So we're talking about the city parks now, right?
Yeah.
That was my great rollover.
That was your futile attempt,
Yeah.
and then Kat just rolled us back
Yeah,
to Ball
Kat-
State in her life.
Sorry.
That would have been a good time to tell your breaking
gosh.
into your roommate's window story.
I know. I have too many good stories, but we'll save it. The parks are more important.
The parks are very
Well,
important.
give us a teaser. Let's yield 4 minutes to Kat for her breaking into her roommate's room
All right.
because
so,
she is the featured guest, and we defer as needed.
Long story short, I just had my phone snatched out of my hand from Greg. I was trying to conduct business.
My goodness.
Wow, that was a long story.
Yes, I am what we call a double agent for Chris Spangle right now. But anyway, so I digress.
He's ruining he's infiltrating. You're letting him in.
And I'm letting
One
them.
bad skittle. ruins
Give
the
him
podcast.
headspace.
Right. No, so long story short, my roommate and I like to wrestle. We like to have fun. Not in a weird way.
You have my attention.
Right. And one night she got very annoyed with me because I stole her only good hair tie and I flung it into a pot of dirty spaghetti water. And she was so mad at me.
Who keeps those sorts of liquids around the house?
We were soaking the pot. It was dirty. So I choke her. She starts choking me out. And because I wanted
This
to see how
sounds
far
like
this...
a great video.
Right. So I wanted to see how far it would go, so I slap her in the face. And next thing I know, she's dragging me around the living room by my hair. So she gets so mad at me, she runs into her room, deadbolts the door shut. So I stand outside for 30 minutes straight, pounding on the door to let me in. She didn't. She did text me, get away from my door. So then I remembered she had a window, so I go outside, start pounding on the window.
This
for
is
30
your home
minutes.
as well.
This is my home,
So
yes.
you're locked out of your house. You're a victim.
Right, I am
Just
a victim.
1/4 of it.
Just
one
a quarter.
quadrant.
A fifth of it, yes. So I start pounding on her bedroom window from the outside, and she texts me again, get away from my window. And so after 20 minutes, I realize that the screen seems to be unlocked. So I lift up the screen, and then I lift up the window, and then I stick my hand in and open the blinds from the inside, pull them up.
11 o'clock at night.
11 o'clock at night, and then I just hear screaming as I thought it was a good surprise, but I'm head first in her window, and I completely climb through, and she yells, and she hits me, and chokes me out, and gives me a bloody nose, and
It was the
really?
right window, right? It wasn't just like
oh
neighbors.
my gosh, Mrs. Mullins, not pleased.
Well, you tried to burn your house down the first day you moved in. So
True.
Is this your first year there?
Yes, I was in the dorms for the past 2 years, and now I am not.
Maybe they should save that for the 4th year students.
I know.
It doesn't sound like you're quite responsible
I know.
enough.
I'm not mature enough. I need to go back. Send me back.
they actually have a timeout chair for her in their living room.
They do.
When they've had enough cat, they make her go sit in the timeout chair.
Where's the wall? Is there a wall at Ball State?
Not yet.
Her door opens from the outside.
Right.
They just lock her up.
You're very comfortable in a padded room like this, then.
Yes, exactly. No, this is just like home.
This is just what you need.
Yes, and if I'm good at night, they give me 1 Skittle and a glass of hot chocolate. It's lukewarm, but it means the same.
I think that was longer than 4 minutes.
I think that was just on time.
Do you think so?
I've
So
been timing
what's
myself.
going on in your neighborhood, Dakota? What
Okay.
you're not watching it very well.
There have been people outraged, and on the last episode we talked to Mark Brim about the different groups that go on like within small cities. Like Mark is from Richmond, and I don't know if Muncie has these or if maybe we're not going to say we're not going to
Southport
say
Road?
we're not going to say where Greg lives, but
No, we're not.
Plainfield.
People come
Well-
and stop by and break into windows.
Oh, Greg's address is actually
But-
wanted.
we have
They go
we
on-
have
they go
these
on day
little
trips
Somebody in this
exploring.
room knows the actual address.
yeah
Not me.
nope
Nope.
Me?
No.
no
Sarah.
No.
No.
Audrey Joe.
Audrey knows.
Audrey knows
Audrey Joe, how
She
do
has
you
the
know?
secret.
Yep. Not
Oh.
even Chris knows.
I know how she knows.
Because they went on a day trip in the middle of the day to come find it. That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard.
What was it like?
That is really creepy.
Tourism.
My God.
Wall tourism. I'm going to sell.
Have you met the Wallasphere?
I'm going to sell nothing.
You're lucky you live an hour outside 465.
Yeah.
Dakota.
Okay, these
Parks.
These groups, mainly like we have Citizens of Henry County, and we have Henry County Scanners. We have What's Going On in Henry County. We have Henry County Crime Watchers, a Henry County Politics and Policy, and soon to be a Henry County Disappointing Photos of Fast Food.
That's a perfect way to up quality.
Yeah.
Shame the shit out of them.
That I'm going to create that group.
Mark
and
Brim created for
Mark
Richmond,
Brim.
so we're going to adopt that.
And
Or Dakota is.
But anyway, I'm a member of all these groups, and it's like great entertainment because mainly it's baby boomers typing in all caps about how horrible things are. But sometimes, occasionally, like we get an actual issue that actually is going on, and a couple of commissioners are in the group, and things like actually happen over these Facebook groups. And one of the big things that's been happening recently is the Newcastle City Parks, mainly Low Park, which is just right down the road from me, next to the Grady Foundry. And it's in horrible shape, like just in shambles.
City runs that one, right?
Yeah, it's a city park.
Not
Yeah,
a
all
county
these-
park. They're
No.
ahead of that.
They-
It's totally different.
They're under different mismanagement.
No, and all the problems that we're having are city parks, and basically a bunch of volunteers have got together, and they've been cleaning up the vandalism and everything. But then these people will come back and they will just re-vandalize it. Like it's an infinity loop is what's happening with the spray paint and paint markers and everything.
So it's kind of graffiti and destruction of property.
Yeah, and one of the things that was brought up by actually a local Libertarian Party member here in Henry County was we need to do a fundraiser and get like trail cameras and point them at the parks, and that'll keep people away. Put signs up that say, you're
being
on camera.
watched.
Yeah, Big Brother is watching. No,
That's the best libertarian idea that was come up with.
like
Build the surveillance state.
Yes, it's the future Ed Snowden of the community.
Use private funds.
Well,
to
here's the
protect
thing,
the
like-
public park
yeah.
with a surveillance.
Which
state.
I mean,
Big
that's
Brother.
what it sounds like. But the idea is, you'll never have to use them unless they get vandalized, right?
shaming.
That's the whole idea. The city will not pay a dime for them or anything. Like
donation, basically.
Yeah, they were going to do a fundraiser from the people that live around it. Like, hey, you want to keep your park nice, so chip in $3 so we can buy this trail cam. Which is, I mean, it sounds like a good idea, but it got me thinking, like, if we're talking about, and the Libertarian Party platform is against taxes of any form, which I call myself a pragmatic libertarian or a classical liberal.
You're okay with stop signs, and
Yeah,
stoplights.
and I'm okay with some taxes. I understand how things work in the world, and but it got me thinking, like, what would it look like if we had a true libertarian government that was running city parks and there was no taxation, there was no money to provide it? Obviously, Jesse Riddles of the world are going to say, "Oh well, private donations and volunteerism and everything." Well, okay. Obviously, that's
Okay,
not working
hippie.
because we
Right.
can't even get people to pitch in for a freaking trail cam. Like
It depends upon how much you want it. I mean, we have a whole lot of churches in this community that operate on private funds entirely, right? Nobody in church
And
gets
tax
government funds.
exemption.
Well, okay, we'll make that the happy
Some might
medium,
even
and
argue
we'll
they
exempt
sell
the
guest
taxes.
passes to heaven.
They're
Right.
not permanent.
Well, pay,
Check local listings.
Indulgences.
the Pope
come
got
on.
in trouble for that once.
right, and
Very crooked. Very sad.
That's
and-
why they call Dakota Martin Luther Jr.
Yes.
so these volunteers have been working on this park like tirelessly. One volunteer even took the initiative upon himself to call Grady, or I guess it's AAM now, it's a different name, but they called the foundry that owned the property going up to the fence of the park and said, "Hey, could you do something about all of the overgrowth of the shrubs and the trees and everything that's right there? It looks horrible." They came out and they actually did some of it. That is what brought us to the conundrum where we're at today, because since that happened, all of a sudden the city starts freaking out. We cannot have people representing the city Like they
that live here.
Yeah, we
Who
cannot
pay the
have this
taxes?
happening.
They can't.
So
they can't be
I mean,
involved
I
in this.
actually I started seeing all this, and the city parks board said no more volunteers in parks.
They basically want to centrally plan all of volunteers.
They
and have
said-
them come through them and call it. If you're a volunteer, they basically want you to pick up the phone, call the mayor's office, and then do what they want you to do, or check in. Which, to an extent, you can understand that if you're trying to plan something, but at the same time,
With a vandalism problem already in existence, it isn't outside like the bounds of rationality to feel that way.
but at the same time, you're also killing the spirit of people that are wanting to help.
Yeah, and I mean it's not like these people were doing anything bad. They were literally. It's not like they were bringing in a crane or doing stupid stuff. They were literally just sanding off the swing set and then putting a fresh coat of paint on it. Like, I don't understand it. I asked a city councilman. I'm not gonna say his name, but I asked him, like, is this true? Because like it just seems so bizarre. Like, the city said no more volunteers, like no more free labor. Like, that's what they said. And it just was so bizarre to me that this actually happened. So I'm like, hey man, did this actually happen, or are people just exaggerating? And he said they want to make it to where just your average Joe isn't going out and doing things without it being approved. They said if they're going to be doing things like picking up trash or whatever, they don't care. But if it's a group coming together, then they want to run background checks. They want to make them apply for permits. And
It's funny because we'll go to the county jail and take work release people who probably can't pass the background check, and then we make them come out at the park. But then if they're going to work in the park, we want to make sure.
And you put a gun at somebody, their background tends not to matter.
yeah,
Trim that bushes with a revolver in your hand works a lot better than having to monitor volunteers who might, randomly be going down alleys with stray cats and starving cats and soliciting meth.
Right.
So,
You mind if I trim these hedges?
no matter
I'm
what
really
kind of
amped up.
volunteer you are, though, if things go the path they're going now, they won't be able to smoke while they're in the parks either.
yeah, that's true.
It's going to be
We
a total embargo.
Okay, we're going to touch on this a little bit, but
This is some backstory for everybody. About Friday of last week, Dakota read a story in the paper and got more triggered than he's ever been in my entire knowledge of
Really?
Dakota's life.
I was so irritated by this entire situation. The city says,
Did you go full snowflake?
Look at him. Look at him
Oh
right now.
my
He's
God.
I am
when,
so upset.
when Dakota
Yes.
is upset, he just starts doing that.
He's rolling up his sleeves. He's sweating.
yeah,
His arms went in the air.
Whew.
He started looking like
Yep.
a meme.
I was triggered. Hashtag triggered. And
Oh God.
it was
A
too late.
feminist at a Trump rally.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
no.
so bad. And the reason is because I'm in all these groups, and I have conversations with people all the time that live around here, and I've never been so hardcore in the minority on an issue in my entire life. Like, there's always been at least like a handful of people that agree
Being
with me.
pro-cancer usually does that.
Right.
But
Not a big
But-
caucus to, coalesce around. Hey, we need to make sure that we spread the cancer to everybody that wants to come out here and watch the fireworks.
Natural selection.
Exactly.
fireworks,
I mean?
the fireworks on county property.
If you had a smoker's park,
Yeah, that's what we need to do. Make
So-
Smokers Park.
So
No
we
taxes.
have, if you drive through Newcastle Cat, and you probably haven't done this yet, but there is a massive cemetery in the center of town,
Oh, no.
city owned.
I've driven through it. I thought it was your house.
Up and down 3, there's like either side of the road is this giant cemetery, and then we have basically a central park. Baker Park is probably an 80 or 100 acre park, and then there's Osborne and Low Park, but that are all some pretty significant parks around. But that cemetery or Baker Park, basically any city-owned property, if they pass this ban that they're talking about, the guy that's out there digging graves wouldn't be able to smoke on his break. Somebody that's out there walking his dog around this park isn't going to be able to smoke.
And it's not. You have to think of the sheer size of Baker Park.
You're
Like-
outside. I mean, there are
Yeah.
a handful of areas that I think maybe it's appropriate if you're around the Little League ball fields, or
Right.
if you're inside, obviously you don't need to be doing that.
And that was my whole argument. Like, okay, I can see. All right, we're going to have the Miracle League, which is a great local foundation that allows mentally handicapped children to play baseball in the park.
I think any sort of handicap.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I don't know. The only people I know
can
are.
we say handicapable? I'm a little uncomfortable.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
But anyway,
it's fine.
like
You.
Oh god.
Like, I mean, I totally understand that. Like, okay, you don't want smoking around these kids because a lot of them are wheelchair bound. Like, whatever. So make it to where
kids regular though, fine, but
Yeah.
wheelchair kids, they
The
can't
ones,
get away.
the
So
ones that can't get away. Dakota has empathy for them.
thank God
Yeah.
they're not on a hill. Otherwise, fine.
I mean,
But damn it, don't smoke around my dog.
the ones that can run away can run away. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like it when Dad smokes around me. I'm leaving.
yeah,
Like,
like an
I'm
Ethiopian
wheeling.
chasing a donut.
yeah,
Gosh.
man. And this is how we get Clay to never come back on the show again.
Ethiopians are fast.
Oh my!
Maybe if
Donuts are not a delicacy there.
The
So when you see
vacationing
one,
Clay. I'm
it's
sure he'll
madness.
listen to
Right.
this, roll his eyes, and power through anyway because
he's a trooper.
he is.
We love you, Clay.
We know he doesn't agree with Dakota 84% of the time.
I didn't get
82%
to go
of the
in.
time.
I didn't get to go into the barbershop today.
You look really shaggy.
I know.
You're not going to be getting that discount anymore. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, you're going to be back to the $12 plan plus
I am.
tips.
When are you going to make signs that say we need to smoke so we can,
Actually, you know
we
what
can
the
spread cancer to all the people out here for the sunset?
the Henry County Party of Henry County, or the
LP of
Libertarian
Henry County?
Party of Henry County is they thought about doing a smoking protest in front of the
in
There
front
are
of the city
some
council.
All
causes
five
not
of them?
worth it. You know what I mean? Like it's like the Civil War with states' rights. Everyone tried to say states' rights, and they're justified. But slavery is not the cause to attach your horse to. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are ones that are so politically
No,
toxic.
but the
touch it.
visual of just chain smoking outside of the city council meeting
with your wheelchair kids. Say, look, they don't even care. Donate to us.
no.
Kat, what would you do? Would you run away?
Well, am I in a wheelchair or not?
No.
No, you're just regular cat
Regular cat?
with whatever faculties you still have.
Right.
Like
I
Forrest Gump
support
with the
it.
leg braces.
I support, freedom of
Okay.
speech.
You don't mind public smoking in a park? In a public park, publicly funded?
Oh.
Okay, so there's the
Honestly,
deal
I really
that
don't care.
Here's the
Really?
thing that we have to
No.
get onto, Greg, and that's what I wanted to touch on today instead of getting into the whole debate about the smoking ban. Was okay in all these groups that I'm in, everybody's debating this, and it seems like
Keyboard ninjas.
Yeah, it
Right.
seems like I'm the only person on the side of allowing people to do things.
You're not
Yes.
alone
And-
out there, Dakota.
Yeah,
You have your friend that you
it
didn't
was
want.
me and Jeremiah.
I can't believe you two go around and stir the pot with these baby
Oh, my
boomers
God.
talking about how our society's going to pot and it's the smokers.
Yep.
Somebody's
And,
doing the vandalizing.
See, and a lot of these people, like, I know personally. So it's like you can't just go out there and be like, "Why do you hate freedom, bro?" Like you can't just do to
Can't
And-
bully them. It's a shame.
Right. So you try to reason, but it doesn't work. So
Have you tried harder?
I've tried so hard. Like I said, hashtag triggered. And we're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is, like you said, a publicly funded park. So a lot of these people were saying, well, it's the government property. They can do whatever they want. Like, the government can make whatever rules they want for their property, just like I can make whatever rules I want for my property. But
That you pay them yearly stipend to the government.
yeah,
so you can
exactly.
be
Like
here.
that's what I was trying to point out. Like, can a government really own property? Like, we are the ones that are paying the government, and they're the ones that are paying for this piece of property.
You being a homeowner
Yeah.
really do pay for this. You're not
Yeah,
like somebody
a
like Cat where
property
you're just like
tax.
passing through Muncie
Right.
and you're a student and
You're a white
passing.
property owning male.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to own property in Muncie.
Are you?
Yes.
You're going to stay there?
No.
Oh,
I do
my.
love
Well,
it. No,
I
my
mean, you're
plans-
from Elkhart. It's not like
I don't
it's-
know.
Hey.
My friend Drew.
I mean,
he,
your friend Mr. Steen, I mean, if you work things out with him, he's a Delaware County guy.
I saw his green beans the other day. They looked fantastic.
Oh,
It's mum
great.
season now.
I saw a Snapchat. No,
man.
I want to move to Newcastle.
You hear that, Chris? She's watching his Snapchats now. Not only are they texting,
So this has been fun. Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty. Join us next time.
Newcastle would be a wonderful place for you to set up and serve whatever Greek menu. I assume since you're here, you're going to have some sort of a Greek restaurant. That's your future.
Maybe. We'll see.
Hey, we already have Victor's Euros and
Maybe, yeah, a
waffles.
gyro
Have you been to Victor's,
stand?
by the way?
I've not.
Oh, you do need to go see Victor's.
Really?
Victor's gyros and pancakes on Tillotson.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh!
Tillotson.
Tillotson.
Is it in Muncie?
Is it pancakes?
Yeah, it's right around the corner from campus.
I thought it was Victor's Euros.
Is it
and
still
waffles.
there?
No, it's Victor. Yeah,
Oh.
Victor Carrillo.
It's
I
next
don't
to
get
the
out
chicken and
much.
waffles place.
He's
heard of that.
it's north of White.
Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
You need to use your microphone, Dakota. You're still hosting a podcast.
Well, I wanted to back away because I didn't want to scream into the microphone.
Speaking of screaming into the microphone, a 5, 6, 7, 8, beep, bop, diddly, dop, boop, da, bop, ba, da, bop. Sorry, did someone say scatting? No? Never mind.
Boy.
I really wish
it just goes.
767 on Monday.
It
I'm
just
starting
goes,
to think that we need to be more like Bob and Tom and have one of the sound effects boards because the cricket sound would have been awesome.
It just
that.
goes. It just goes with her wherever she goes. The
Well,
scatting.
here's the thing. I have to, provide for my fans.
You do have a legion of fans.
I have at least 2 people who love Scat Cat.
12
One is Christy Avery, who loves everything.
who is, I'm sure, listening right now while she's at work. 12,000 people have watched Kat on her first appearance on Bob and Tom on
About
YouTube.
1,000 of those were me screenshotting every facial expression to use for memes.
Here's the thing, though, is I feel like there's got to be something with the algorithm. There is no way that 12,000 people watched it from beginning to end. No way.
I think they just saw some of it.
Oh, absolutely. It's
The song,
audience.
the song with you and Clayton Anderson is absolute gold. Who I am planning on seeing on Saturday night
Really?
with the
Date
lovely
night?
Sarah Potter.
She's my favorite.
She should be. She really should
I
be.
do love her.
So I'm hoping he plays the Cat Anagnos song.
He won't, but
I'm going to have a sign, and I'm going to request it.
he will not see that sign.
Bob and Tom superfan. I want to hear the Cat song and see if he remembers
will
it.
not remember what that is.
Oh, totally will.
He's a hell of a good guy.
Totally will.
He's
he's
real good
very
friends with
nice.
a buddy of mine, Jeff Overton, the professional golfer. And they
Name
used to
dropper?
get...
That's what I just said.
I beat him. Swear
Did
to
you
God,
really?
The first tournament we went head-to-head, I beat him. I shot 69, he shot 70. It was to qualify to go to the Optimist International in West Palm Beach, and I never let him forget it.
Jeez.
That's awesome.
But so they were shit-faced outside John Mellencamp's house on Lake Monroe, calling in to JMV, yelling, Cougar! Cougar! while doing an actual interview with JMV on the radio in the middle of the day.
That's awesome.
I feel like
He's
Greg
just a bro.
has so many good stories like this.
He runs in big
we
circles.
that we just don't know about.
He's oppressed by Spangle, really. He's not allowed to get out and tell his real stories.
I just want him... No. Because he's like Kim Jong-un. If there is any threat to the crown, I'll get disappeared like a first wife.
Oh, it's true.
So you just
Greg the second,
heavylize the
Greg
crown.
the third, until we get to Greg the
Listen,
eighth.
I have equal footing with Kat.
Yeah.
She made that very clear when she's self-appointed as a
Exactly.
co-host.
Here's the thing about Dear Leader is he is the
my.
type he provides so much sustenance and support for his people
Yes.
that it's almost stupid to go against him or to question his authority because he knows best. He knows all. He sees all. He
We
does
serve
all.
at the pleasure of His Majesty.
Well, that's why Dakota and I threw the birthday party that we did that you forgot to attend.
I wanted to.
Did you see from the pictures and the incredible media the way he was dressed?
Okay, I will tell you that my roommates who are friends with Mr. Spangle saw that and they thought it was the funniest thing. I thought it was so funny. His cape, his crown, the haphazard background that you set up.
You mean when Coda
That was me.
decided to be a multicultural ghost?
So funny.
I put on the gray sheet and stood behind him with my arms spread out.
At
Well-
first, I thought you thought he was Thomas Jefferson in Charlottesville. And then I realized you were trying to be a backdrop.
Well, I will say I expect something very good for my 21st birthday now after seeing what you did for Dear
Kat,
Leader.
if
Yeah.
you want us to do it, we will.
The pop star of
we
Liberty.
will host a 21st birthday for you.
The pop star of Liberty.
we'll take you to
Unfortunately, that
Scooters.
weekend Dakota and I are already busy, but we'll find a way to work something into it.
Okay.
November 2nd.
We'll take you to
a
Scooters,
Wednesday
and
night.
you will
Yeah.
never have experienced more people asking you to take your shirt off
Oh.
and more free drinks in your life. So, like, you have to take the good with the bad.
Okay. I have what we call I can't, never mind.
We took Tanner there
Back
for
at
his birthday, and
Tanner was a hit.
and Tanner was a huge
Did you
hit.
take his shirt off?
And people even asked him to take his shirt off.
Really?
So, I mean, don't think it's just for women.
Wow.
You're making the mistake of thinking she's classy. When Kat was dreaming about riches the other day, she talked about her own private island that would need mobile hookups so she could have her house on it.
Yes.
Mobile hookup.
That seems like a fair goal.
Yeah, you wanted a private island with a Airstream.
Here's the thing is I'm getting so tired of not tired because I'm here for the fans. The fans
course.
are everything. They're the reason I'm
course.
here. But I am
We all
getting-
run on our fans.
Right.
That's the basis
Exactly.
of what generates all of our success.
But sometimes it's too much. Don't you just wish you could go to the grocery store without being, asked for pictures and autographs and riches and fame?
I can normally get through the Kroger without the autographed hunters, but I can't get through Aldi anymore. I've
No.
talked about Aldi too many times, and that's where they look for me.
I know.
At the Rural King,
Oh my!
Jeremiah Morrell is walking. They take me for my first experience, and the mayor shouts out to him.
Wow.
Guess who didn't say hello though?
Who?
The lovely Sarah Potter.
Weird.
She's got a little bit of a beef with him. She's not over it yet.
Really?
She has a beef with Mr. Greg Lenz.
It was
a little
clear,
bit.
and it was petty.
A little bit.
Oh, it was because of the chili contest.
It was
wasn't
her. She entered into the outdoor cooking contest, and I don't know why she blames the mayor. There were a number of judges, but she specifically just blames the mayor for her poor performance.
You can't say those things in a town like Newcastle. People talk. People end up in the river. I don't know if you have a river, but
We do have
people
a river.
could end up in that.
We have
My
a-
neighborhood
the
pollutes
Big
it,
Blue
so
River.
don't get into it south of Fox Run.
Right.
It's a little questionable down there. But up here, it's lovely.
Right.
Yeah,
This time of year.
Yes. Oh, yes, of course. A little low. We could use some rain. So Dear Leader at his little birthday, he had a shawl on,
Right.
and then we had birthday cakes. The lovely Audrey Jo Peavy had made an apple pie, handmade, beautiful apple pie,
Yes.
The best crust
a German chocolate cake, which was his request.
with icing, and I didn't realize that's normal.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
a nice
My
German
parents
chocolate.
make that.
Authentic,
And then
huh?
we went to Kroger for the common people, and we got a sheet cake, and it said "Happy Birthday, Dear Leader."
Now, I was going to ask you about this. What did the workers say when you asked
He
the cake
said
to
nothing.
say?
Like he was like, okay, dear later.
Whatever you
Like,
need, Mr. Morrell. That
he
was
was
what
like,
he said.
Interesting.
He was like DEAR. Like, yep. He goes, okay.
DEER.
Dear.
Dear Leader.
Interesting.
They thought we
Well,
were hunters.
It looked very fun. I really wish I could have gone. I did not want to get fined, and I did have a blast, even though sorority recruitment gave me
Even
mono.
though you didn't try to recruit
Unfortunately,
my sister.
the
Right.
cake, by the time anybody got a chance to eat it, had 5 handprints in it from
Who
from
finger painted
Audrey.
on it?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of jealousy coming out of that one.
there was.
Oh, here I
Okay.
want some, and just
All right, you know what? Let's clear this up right now. She was trying to do a good thing.
Was she?
She was trying to catch the cake from
You can
falling
judge
off.
intent.
Is this what we call white knighting?
That's what
I think
hear.
it is.
Listen, if any of you come to my wedding and put your hand in the cake,
Oh, you're supposed to at a wedding.
I'll be so pissed
Or you're
off.
supposed to
couple
put
is.
it in the face, right?
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you're supposed to put it in the face
I'm
of
coming
the
to your
other
wedding.
person.
I know I don't have anywhere to sit, but I'm going to be there.
They'll
You
bring
don't
out a
have
chair
anywhere
for
to
you.
sit. You have to stand, Jer.
Thank you.
At Greek weddings, do they do the thing where they put you up on a chair? Or
That's
is it just
Jewish.
Jewish?
That's
No, I knew
just
it was
Jewish.
Jewish, but I thought you guys did something too.
We do the.
You guys drink liquor. Of course, you're not 21 yet.
No,
But
no.
you guys drink liquor that tastes like licorice, I believe.
Yes.
Yes,
It
I've
was
done
a-
it. I've been to your town in
Absinthe?
Florida.
Do they drink
Oh, yeah.
absinthe?
Where the sponge is at? Tarpon Springs?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
big familiar? I'm sure that's like your homeland down there, right?
Oh,
Greg,
something
did
like
you
that.
drink
people.
absinthe at that one party?
Yeah.
You
Remember,
did?
I trolled and everyone was looking at me like I knew what I was doing, so I just started.
He
playing
just started inventing
absinthe
things we were
maker
supposed to
and-
do.
Oh, this is how the
Do we
how
have-
Europeans do it.
Do we
I
have
no
any
clue.
more?
Interesting.
Like, did we drink all that night?
You did.
Yeah, it's gone.
I did not.
Oh yeah, and then you hurled apparently.
No, that was a different That was a different
I think
party.
that was the same one.
Yeah,
That
Yeah.
was
That was a totally different. Was it?
yeah.
Mhm. You were a little bleary eyed.
It was a bad night for you.
I
He
did
didn't make
almost get
stacks.
sick.
I didn't make
Food
it to
poisoning.
stacks.
That was one of the nights that I needed to stop by here and pick him up, but he didn't do it.
Yeah.
I threatened.
Yeah.
I threatened.
I
hard.
was
You still been to Stacks?
bad the next morning.
Stacks is the elite of the elite. When I'm out in Henry County, I feel like a Kennedy because when you go out with Jeremiah and Dakota, everyone
I
comes
had
up
it.
and serves you.
Guess where I ate for lunch today?
Stacks?
Yep, that's
Did
correct.
he come out and say hi?
My boss took me there,
I got you.
and he's
Very
from
nice.
Noblesville, like very
Ooh.
prestigious.
Hoity-toity.
So, and he even goes to Stacks whenever he comes to Newcastle.
See, my question is that, I should be treated like royalty since I am the third co-host of the prestigious We Are Libertarians podcast and network.
Is it an interim thing, or have they given you a real title?
No,
It's
I'm
permanent.
the
I explained it, the
Pop
live
star
show.
of Liberty, Scat Cat.
Yes.
Yes. But
Have you prepared any more Cat and Anagnos originals?
oh, why, yes, I have. Hit it, boys. 5, 6, 7, 8. Beep, bop, boop. Buddy, bop, boop. Buddy, bop, boop. Ba-da, bop, bop. Yeah.
No, but you used to do like these early on in your career. You would do these lyrical things, and I knew that you did a parody. I don't want you to do the famous one,
Right.
Not on these airwaves,
Darling,
Of
I'm
course.
a nightmare dressed like a
because
dressed like a day
here on We Are Libertarians with Dakota Davis, Cat Anagnos and Greg Lenz. We are broadcast and syndicated.
We Are Libertarians.
On the Stepchild show. We Are
Right.
Libertarians, Boss Hog of Liberty show.
This is Boss Hog of
We are
Liberty.
syndicated on Indiana Talks.
Are we?
Network.
Yeah, we're on the Wall Network, of course, but we're
Interesting.
available Saturdays and Sundays at noon on Indiana Talks as well. So I don't want to have that sort of language out there.
Right. Well, yes.
Because there's grandmothers listening in Carmel.
Right.
Okay?
See, here's the problem: is at the beginning of my career, I had to find myself, and it was really about my art. So I kind of, it's like when Beyonce, like when she came around, hip hop was important, so she
Right.
did that, and then she goes to pop, R&B. She's just finding herself, following what's popular. So when I started my career many moons ago, it was all about that anti-Semitic parody songs.
That was the thing at the time. Trump had just been elected.
No. This was in 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Obama's
Yes.
first term.
Yes.
Do you have a tiki torch?
I don't. I actually returned that after my weekend getaway.
Do you drive a Dodge?
I do not. And I don't drive a
No, she
Subaru
doesn't.
either.
Not yet.
She's in
Not
a red
yet.
vehicle right
Oh,
now.
but I do have a very... I might have to show you after, but you all... I think everyone at the Wall Network is aware of my reputation.
As a 54 and a 55 driver?
No, the reputation of the Subaru softball playing... lesbian, right.
Yes, a thespian.
A thespian, right. I do have a video of me that is on my roommate's Snapchat story of us walking to class today, and she forced me to hold her hand in public, and I told her, everyone already thinks I'm a lesbian, this isn't helping. So I'll have to show you it after. It was very funny.
You really should let that kid from Selma take you on a date at least once. Just for the appearances.
Not
The farmer.
the
Schlemiel.
Civil Rights Bridge,
Schlemazel.
Selma. Indiana,
Oh.
Selma.
Which other one?
Oh,
Not the
Indiana
Dr. King
Selma.
one.
Mm-hmm.
The one
I
with the
thought you were
farm and
talking
honeybees.
about...
Oh,
I thought you were
no.
talking about like Laverne and Shirley.
No, Aaron.
Schlemiel.
Schlemazel.
I saw him
Schlemazel.
in person.
Incorporated.
You saw him again?
No, I saw him once.
Right.
I won't be seeing him again. Just because of the...
You don't know with your whole Uber Muncie thing. You know,
Right, I
sometimes-
might accidentally pick him up again. Who
Are you
knows?
Ubering? Are you
No,
an Uber driver?
Absolutely not.
Well, that morning at your house.
Oh,
Right,
that's true.
I did.
You did.
That was
you did offer a
hilarious.
delivery service.
He's a very sweet boy.
Man,
However,
he's old enough.
he's 18. I'm
He's
a
not
little
a
bit
boy
older.
anymore.
He's a man.
Well,
Plays Garth Brooks that summer and everything.
exactly. No, he. Here's the thing. It's like
She had a
Romeo and
need to
Juliet
feel the
minus
thunder.
the whole love
Dun,
thing.
dun, dun.
Romeo and Juliet?
Minus the love. It's like we're
The
just
Taylor Swift song?
no. It's
Oh.
just the story, the traditional Romeo and Juliet.
The suicide part?
She could
Minus
be-
the suicide, minus
she
the
could be your
romance. Like, he lives on a farm. He's from the farming world, and I am from the very prestigious podcasting world.
Do you think he has
Those worlds could never collide.
could never collide?
Does he have an occupational license to
So
sell
Sarah
his
just
goods?
stepped out to
don't
go
know.
ahead and bring in our next guest.
Who is it? Oh, God. Ha! No.
Oh man!
Are you being serious?
Oh my gosh, Kat! You cannot scream into these mics.
No, I'm not being
No more
serious, but the look
screeching.
on her face.
Of course I screamed into the microphone.
You
I
were-
was just
You were
shocked.
terrified,
Oh, God.
man.
No.
Ah.
No.
I asked.
It's called Butterflies.
I asked Scat Cat over here. I asked her if Aaron Steen has a occupational license to sell his farm goods.
That's true. In some places, they take that very seriously,
Be a
Dakota.
shame if somebody reported him.
It says UC Berkeley. Okay, I have so many problems with UC Berkeley at the
Let's
moment.
hear it.
And I feel like they're all weighing down on my shoulders because I didn't think that I could hate the people out there any more than what I already do. But I was proven wrong here last week.
be
Jeremiah's
careful.
taking a
This
Snapchat.
is-
We're Snapchatting from the
We're
brand new
getting
studio here.
Right on some SJW snowflake, territory.
Yeah, I'm starting to get triggered for...
When you start picking
Nice
on
and rude.
universities, it's a lot for our.
I'm not picking on universities. If I was picking on universities, then I would be picking on Cat.
Thank you.
I
You
have-
and your knowledge.
yeah.
I know.
Loser.
I have zero problems with universities. It's just this University of California at Berkeley that I have a problem with. All of the okay. First of all, they protested my boy
Milo.
Yiannopoulos, and they they freaking protested my Uncle Ben.
Carson.
The sleepy doctor.
No, not Carson.
Benjamin Franklin?
Ben Carson is a person of color. He's not my uncle.
Well, we know that
your
from your
father
period test.
is half Native American.
Harry Price once said Greg Lenz doesn't see color. It's one of the greatest compliments I've ever received.
Exactly.
Go on, Dakota.
My best friend Harry.
You guys are killing me over here.
So you're talking about occupational licensing and the protest.
Well, I'm
at
talking
Berkeley.
about UC Berkeley protesting my Uncle Ben Shapiro.
Yes.
And that's one of the problems I have with him. I love Ben Shapiro. Like, can't get enough of him.
I was a big fan of Robert Shapiro.
I don't know who
In his
Robert Shapiro
legal
is.
work.
Is it Bob? That Grandpa
Robbie.
Bob? No, but anyway, so we're talking about occupational licensing. That was our horrible segue into the next topic. But UC Berkeley police, I don't know I'm sure that everybody that is listening to this right now has seen the video that's going around.
So there was a fellow selling hot dogs at UC I guess last Saturday at UC Berkeley home football game.
like the good hot dogs where like
a hot dog cart.
You know, they saute the onions and the peppers and stuff.
Chicago
And
style.
they put
Love.
it on like the poppy seed bun for
The
you.
pickle.
You're making
So,
the room hungry at this point.
You know, and if you eat one of them, you don't know or not
Right,
whether
you
or not
don't-
you're going to fail a drug test.
Right,
or
you can
not.
be like Elaine Dennis and,
Yeah.
and not be allowed to go to Africa and see the
Except
Bushman.
I'm not gonna talk about Seinfeld anymore on this podcast because it's a horrible TV show. But anyway,
The man loves Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm, hates Seinfeld. He's an enigma.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't know what to do with him. Continue.
okay. So anyway, the original story was like it started coming out. Okay, this cop ticketed this man who was selling his hot dogs, his Chicago style hot dogs on the corner at UC Berkeley.
Permitless, apparently.
Yeah, and what we end up like, we watch through the video at you see everything, and then all of a sudden you see this cop who's on a freaking bicycle because it's UC Berkeley, and they're just that cucked. They have
Triggered
sent their
again.
cops on bicycles. That's just how they are. But the officer literally like just asks the man for his wallet. Can I see your wallet? And he says, "Do you have a license to be here?" And the man's like, "No, I don't have a license. I don't have occupational licensing." So the dude just starts taking all the cash that he has in his wallet,
Like
from him,
$60.
like-
It's not like the guy's got
Yeah.
thousands on him. He takes $60.
and
He sells hot dogs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
For
And they're
$2
not
a
Hebrew
piece.
National. Let's be clear.
Yeah.
You know, the
So,
regular kind.
So then the man who's getting his money stolen from him is like you can't do that. That's not right. The cop literally looks at him and says, "This is law and order in action, son."
So his customer at the time sees this starting to happen, and he's the one that's recording the video.
Right.
And he apparently is an alumni who's there to watch the football game, and he's he is very offended and trying to stand up for the vendor. And the cop is like telling him there's another police officer. At this point, there's two there, and there's one telling him he can videotape it because you need multiple people to enforce these hot dog
Well, he's
rules.
an outlaw hot dog.
Yeah, and the other one's also on a bicycle.
Yeah.
Like, just
Because they're nowhere close to the road. They're off on they're in like a quad somewhere, right? I mean, they're in sidewalks. It was ridiculous.
my God, in Indiana, we would just send them on like a dirt bike
But who will police the nature trails?
without government.
Exactly.
So we're not picking on the police in general. At least I'm not. Because
I have no problem with the police officers. I
have a
have
problem
no
with bike
problem.
cops.
I have a problem with these specific police officers.
right, and even if they are enforcing what the rule is or what the law is, you also have to question: should you even have these rules?
Right.
See, I even question this officer's character. The fact that he would even enforce this law on this man.
It's your job, though.
Literally, I hate the excuse of I'm just doing my job. Like that's not an excuse to me.
Well, and then you think he probably has some ability to say, "Okay, yeah, I'm going to write you the ticket."
Yeah.
And then
But
walk
I'm not.
away.
But I'm not going to take your
But then-
$60.
But then doing the
or
civil
you can go up to
asset
him and say,
or
"Hey,
forfeiture.
do you realize you're not supposed to be selling right here?" And the dude would have probably been like, "Oh crap, I'm sorry, Mister."
Pack it up and go
Yeah.
home.
Right.
Well, don't your parents own a restaurant?
My uncles do, yeah.
Don't they have to get a license to operate from the state?
Yeah.
I'm sure the
Like
health department has
health
to
inspections?
approve
Yep.
them to be in there.
So they'd shut them down if they didn't get that, I presume, and then they publicly list, don't they, all health violations?
Yeah, they do here in Indiana. We even like a temporary food vendor would get a health permit of some sort.
Right.
But we don't have this, this licensure just simply to operate a business in that way.
No, but I mean, it would be you have to get a food preparation license.
Yeah, I think you have to be, safe serve.
Because even
or whatever.
bartenders, I'm pretty sure have to get that.
That's true, because in my high school, we had a kid who would he would make and sell smoothies during passing periods, and he would do it like his first 2 years at school, and he made a lot of money. And then third year, he wasn't there because the school made him get like a license, like 2 or 3 licenses, and he had to pay like $600 each to get it. I don't know what kind of license it was. And then he was back senior year and made all the money back twice.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had a violation?
My restaurant?
Your
No.
parents?
Oh, my restaurant. No, my uncle's restaurant. No.
No?
They've been in the game since... It was a bar before it was a restaurant.
Oh, okay.
So they've been in the game since like the early 90s?
Yeah.
Late 80s, I think.
Because
yeah.
like my mom's maniacal about it. Like she cannot wait for the listings of violations to see which restaurants have,
Really?
committed violations. And so I do think that a lot of it...
Oh, God.
Certain young man just snapped us back asking when he gets to go on the air.
But I do think a lot of it has to do with what ends up happening is the people who are licensed and in good standing end up turning it into cartel-like behavior, where it's basically protectionism.
Yeah, you're trying to keep anybody else from coming into the business, and
Right.
you have all of this equipment that you have to have, and then you create a huge barrier at entry to where they end up, and you end up like with this weird revolving door as well, where the guy that was in the restaurant industry all of a sudden is now the guy that's responsible for
He's the head
enforcing.
of the new private association and responsible for self-policing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but like if Clay were smart, he would start a barber. He already is licensed occupation, barbers.
Yeah,
have
he
the
has
occupation license.
he has his. I think there's 2 different kinds of licenses, and if I remember correctly, when I spied on his license that he has, I think he has a cosmetology license.
Yeah,
so he could work on you, Kat.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I need a lot of work.
But yeah, so it would be really wise for him to donate to an organization trying to raise the standards in the name of public health, so that consumers feel safe.
Yeah.
From rogue barbers going around giving people terrible fades.
Right. Oh, good thing Dakota just walked back in there.
Yeah, Dakota has made since we've moved this to his home turf, he's made so many unscheduled disappearances from this room. I don't know.
He's got to look after the chickens.
I can't have chickens thanks to Darren Jacobs.
Not that you're salty.
Not that I'm salty at all, but
He
it
has
would be
his-
nice to have a few.
Yeah, of course. You have plenty of room. You have a lovely fenced-in backyard.
That you helped me with.
Excellent chicken space.
No, I was trying to hold my pee until the end of the episode, and I was like, I'm
You
not
need a
going
Gatorade bottle.
I'm not going to
Couldn't
make
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard that you can just
We just need a 5-gallon bucket that we can pass around the
a
table.
community bucket like we have at the Indy 500.
Yeah. Do you have one of those little women's cups that
No,
has the nozzle on
but
the
I've
end?
seen those, and I'm not going to lie. I thought about getting one, and then I thought maybe I should just kick this habit instead.
I took a
Here's a 32-ounce lemon lime. What do I need that for?
I one time it was like right after my senior year of high school. I had a Jeep Wrangler at the time, and me and my cousin, who is a female, took a backpacking trip, and we took our canoe and all of our gear, and we went to Brookville Lake and canoed across the lake to a peninsula, and found a good camping spot there. And she legitimately brought one of those.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those in action in the wild per se.
Well, I mean, I never saw it in action, but
You just saw that its presence was there.
yeah,
You've never been
I
out,
noted
out on
the
the
presence.
boat, and there's that one girl in the sundress who's just like, she won't get in the water because she wants to be seen in her sundress and big sunglasses. So
Yep.
she, uses the whatever is available since she won't get into the water.
Yeah, that's not me. I'll just get into the water.
There you go.
I'll just
Yeah.
hike a leg
My
up and go
dad-
overboard.
One time, my dad, one time we were in Florida, which my grandma lives in Florida, and we were at the beach.
Bragging about how he still has
And,
grandma.
yep.
You get it.
And,
Grandma's very successful.
And he wades out into the ocean, stands there like waist deep, and then walks back up to the beach. And we're like, "What'd you do?" And he's like, "Oh, I went pee." And then that night, literally that night, we were watching this survivalism show, and
Survivor.
no, it wasn't
Man
Survivor.
vs. Wild.
Yeah, it was like Man vs. Wild, and he
Love
was
it.
talking about how he wanted to attract a shark to the shore so he could kill it and eat it for food. So he goes, and he goes out
That was
there.
not Rupert.
No, he goes out there into the water and just pees, and he's like, "This will attract a shark." And then, like, I think it was like an hour later, a shark ends up going to where he peed, and my dad's like, I guess it's because
The salt?
like, because whenever animals are afraid, they'll
Yeah.
pee. You know,
Animals?
like, and and my dad was like, "Oh my god,
Just did that to yourself.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh my god, I'm never peeing
I'm a
in the
fear
ocean
peer. It's not
again."
weird.
Huh.
Like I don't know. So have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
I've never been stung by a jellyfish.
Gulf Shore is
Over 400
like,
times.
right, and like
What
you
was-
don't know, and they pee on you. To
What
Oh,
was
yeah.
take it
God
away.
thinking when He created a jellyfish?
No, they're like pugs. God's little mistake.
Yeah.
And
It's an angry sack.
yeah.
God, it's so horrible. I've been stung it like 300 times, and every time you just pee on it, scratch it out with a credit card or a playing card to get the stinger out.
Like cocaine.
Does peeing actually,
No, yeah.
Does that work?
Does it have to be your pee or somebody else's pee?
It
or
is
can
pee.
you just go by that fake pee from like the really shady?
The
From
Wizinator?
the from the bottom
Yeah.
shelf of the CVS.
Yeah,
Ew, I don't know actually.
But no, it needs, they actually pee like they would pee on you, but like you can use meat tenderizer and a couple other things. Because Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, like my parents would go on spring break, and once we found out that's their high season, we just kept going. Like, and
Yeah.
it was like, oh no, we're just gonna go because I don't know. I guess they go away for a little bit, but they never
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been to that part. I've never been to Alabama and been to the beach there. So
Love it.
I've always been like Tampa or Clearwater or something like that. When
I've only been to Florida once. We always have gone to Alabama.
So
Yeah.
did I miss? Are we in the final thoughts?
No,
portion of
no.
the episode?
The wrapping up the Berkley hot dog vendor. The bright side of this story is that there's been a GoFundMe page set up. The fellow that was videotaping, I think he's, at least as of the time we last looked, he raised over $70,000
Yeah,
to help
his-
this
his,
guy and others like him.
His original goal was 10,000.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Trump
So-
should hire him to do a state dinner of all hot dogs.
that would be
That
excellent.
would be awesome.
Just
And
to
then
make
proceeds.
Berkeley mad.
Of course, the fellow is
Yeah. They would protest it.
The excess proceeds could go to the wall. that
Uncle
he's,
Ben
that
could
he's
make a
not getting
great
completed.
speech about that.
Well, it's a flip job. We're restoring the old wall.
That's right. It's just a collection of fences and
Right.
various
Mexico,
materials.
Chip and
they're just
Joanna
gonna have
in.
to do a little debt collecting. They're a little slow with payment.
My goodness. All right, so that brings us through the official program portion of the Boss Hog Liberty podcast. At this time, what we typically do are final thoughts. Greg, you're on my right, so we'll start with you and we'll circle around the room.
Because I wasn't even featured.
No, you are not the featured guest.
Am I
so
allowed to talk?
Sure. I'll turn the shot collar down.
You is kind. You is smart. You is important. Thank you, Miss Catherine.
Of course.
we're excited to have had Greg on. By the way, this is the completion. Of course, the first episode was co-hosted with Chris Spangle as we launched this thing. Dear Leader, as you all hear, and then of course Kat is co-host, and Greg is co-host of We Are Libertarians. So,
He's not happy. He just rolled his eyes at me.
well, he was like any middle sibling. He was always
Exactly.
happier when he was the youngest,
Exactly.
and
then the
he's
new
still
baby
adjusting
comes.
to the new baby.
I would have liked to have been included when Spangle put out that milk at night outside of his door, and a stray cat came in,
Lapped
and
it
she
up.
stayed, and, I'm the pop star of Liberty,
I'm Scat Cat. Beepity doo.
and that's just racist. I'm sorry.
Not at all. I bring joy to everyone.
That is podcast blackface.
It is. It's very bad. It's very inappropriate, and I don't approve of it. But
I don't know what you're
I'm
talking
stuck
about.
with it, so we'll deal. And this isn't Wall, so I don't really have much say.
You're here.
But no, you guys have done an amazing job. One, since you guys have started to be where you guys are today is outstanding and really impressive. And you have this awesome studio. I value my life, so I won't say it's better than Dear Leaders, but you were very smart to credit him for the inspiration and what a pivotal role he played and how you designed it. And I'm just really, I hope you guys keep doing well. It's an honor to be invited. Would have been nice to be promoted, but I understand this isn't the face that sells. So,
Right.
I didn't get $3.
You were-
spent.
You were
And your
the-
time is over.
When Clayton
You were-
Anderson sings a song about you on a nationally syndicated radio show, perhaps we will promote you.
That'd be very progressive.
I thought that my whole angle was that Greg was a surprise guest.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
true.
I'm never a welcome surprise, Dakota. You'll learn that. You should have discovered that by now.
You gave her a bracelet?
Yeah, that's
Oh no!
a friendship bracelet. The windmill of friendship and tolerance. God. God. That was such an embarrassing moment.
I told my parents about that.
That hurt one. That one didn't hurt, but God, it was just. I love that restaurant, and I haven't been back since.
Oh no. So there's. I'm not sure where to go with this.
Sorry, but no, you guys have done a wonderful job. This is episode 21, correct?
Yes, 21 in.
I look forward to
Our podcast is legally allowed to drink.
I look forward to 210. You guys got the momentum, doing an excellent job, and just keep it up. I'm impressed, and I'm so thankful you let me be a part of it.
Thank you, Greg.
You can claim me. You're one of the few.
Cat.
Wow, this has been an experience. No, really, though, just like Greg, he took the words out of my mouth. Thank you so much for inviting me on. This drive was much better to make. It's 30 minutes instead of an hour. I know.
So here's the thing. Mm-hmm. This is the We Are Libertarians East studio. Right. Anytime you need to come in, I'm going to have a key. Okay. I don't have it yet, but it's customary.
Exactly.
I'm going to have a key. I need to have a key to my studio because my things are here.
Right.
And it's half the distance. So if you want to do any podcasts here,
interesting.
The door is always open. Just let us know.
And the window, because
I know you know how to force entry into somewhere.
Right.
And I know how to force friendship. So anytime, you just let me know. You have my number.
Got it.
And we'll get you in here.
Interesting.
All right.
No, yes.
He works a lot of overtime, so if he's not here, just let me know and I'll get you in.
Cool. I'll get my own.
Okay, continue.
No, but I was just going to, exactly what Greg said. I mean, thank you so much for inviting me on. This has been a blast. This, honestly, I love like how it reminds me of Parks and Rec. I know we worship around Swanson, but it reminds me of that, like the small town, like talk, but tying it into the bigger stuff.
Pawnee, Indiana is modeled after like, Newcastle, Indiana.
And Muncie, yeah.
It really is.
People from here also vacation in Muncie.
Exactly.
The bed and breakfast, the nice one is up there.
Mm-hmm, right.
Stay away from the Thai place, though. That gets dangerous.
Yeah, just
oh my God.
Thai Terra?
Yet.
There was a shooting at broad daylight in front of the Thai place last week.
But it's fine.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
In front of Thai Terra?
The Tepi Thai? The one downtown.
No.
I don't. Tepi Thai. Anyway, we keep interrupting Kat.
I don't like that.
And this is her
Thai
time.
Terra is the best in Newcastle.
It's fine.
No,
but yeah, no, thank you so much for inviting me on. It has been a blast. I love what you guys are doing. I love the like small town, like Parks and Rec feel you literally get, but tying it into what we do like on the whole network. Love it. Me sometimes. No, studio again, shockingly beautiful. Shockingly, I value my life as well, so I won't say it's better, but I just think it's wonderful. No, this has been great. Thank you guys so much for having me. I've had a lot of fun.
And mention how Dear Leader felt about not getting the invite.
Dear Leader was not pleased. I've been sent as the messenger, and I'm supposed to come back with 2 scalps.
Oh,
scalps.
2 scalps?
A Jer scalp and a Sarah Potter scalp.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Really? Audrey, Joe, and Dakota escape.
Yes.
Here's the thing. Dear Leader has already appeared on these airwaves.
Right.
You are all, as I was told, co-hosts of We Are Libertarians. So if
our contract's starting to get close to where we're not allowed to speak.
I want to read that shirt.
If
the fine print.
I don't know. I don't know, Greg. I know it says We Are Libertarians, 2 scopes, 2 genders, 2 co-hosts, but there appears to be a third. There is another.
It's me.
I'm losing this battle.
Exactly. I think I was a great addition to the show.
I heard
the ratings went through the roof when you became a permanent member.
We needed.
Watch that ego, Kat. Man.
Sorry, just gotta say, it's so hard to, come guest star in all of these podcasts and have my fans.
Have you been on Tad Talk yet?
I've not been on Tad Talk
or Miranda's World.
No,
all of the We Are Libertarians, or the latest and greatest in the We Are Libertarians network, Keto Talk with Bittner.
I want to be on that. Maybe I'll start my own.
I'm trying to sigh as loud as I can.
No, but really, thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a blast. I've been looking forward to it all week, and I'm very impressed.
Well, thank you very much, Kat. We're excited that you're here and look forward to 10 or 20 more appearances here.
Yes, of course.
On this podcast, or if you want to use this studio, like I said, Monday nights or Tuesday nights in here are normally free, and we can produce.
I don't know what I would produce.
This is way more convenient for you.
It's much closer.
I'm worried about you driving, so I think you should check into that.
Yeah, I should probably never come back.
No, I mean quarterly.
Yeah, whatever.
Right.
No breaks.
Dakota, final thoughts? Hey, how do we follow Kat on social media, by the way?
Oh, yeah. I am on social media at Kat Anagnos. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
You're the only one, so you're easy to find.
Only one. Easy to find. If you Google me, this is very exciting. If you Google Kat Anagnos, you know how you get the Google
and it gives you the
suggested
thing, yes.
2 suggestions pop up. 1 is comedian, and 2 is Bob and Tom.
Comedian?
How'd you figure that out?
Is it comedian or comedian?
Comedian.
Wow.
Oh.
Isn't that kind of exciting?
Well, you are an official writer. Like, you write jokes. It's like a thing you do.
I'm kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, like, if you actually know who I am on air, I pretend to be this big-headed, like, diva. If you actually know me,
She flipped her hair when she
I
said
flipped my
that.
hair as I did it. If you actually know me, I'm nothing like that. Like, I still feel like we're just broadcasting to one person, my mom. Hello, Natalie. So it's just very, like, interesting to see, like we were talking about, just the view counts go up.
It's crazy.
And I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm also speechless. We nowhere near the fame of you, of course, Kat,
stop.
and the level that you've achieved. But yeah, it is truly. I'm going to be all my Vice President Pence. It's very humbling.
Oh, thank you.
To go through and have people tell you that you're great. It's just
Yes.
it's just yes.
Right. Thank you. No, thanks again. Love it.
Dakota, a Tokad Savad.
I'm starting to see where Greg is coming from with this 2 co-host thing.
Oh.
She interrupted me during my final thoughts to promote herself on Google.
The Google Plus.
Yeah. Okay, we won't get into Google. There's been so much talk of that in our group chat here lately. No, but I'm really glad that you can ask Jeremiah and Audrey, I was so nervous setting up all the microphones and everything in here because I'm like, what if the table's not big enough? What if there's a horrible echo that's in the room? What if the sound quality is just horrible and we need to go back to Jeremiah's house tonight? I was really nervous about all this. And I'm like, I spent $800 on this room and it's not going to work. And but
it's an incredible studio.
I've been sitting here
great.
with the headphones on. It sounds pretty good, and I'm so relieved.
I really should have pushed record on this a long time ago, though. So we'll just have to start over.
Stop, skibbity.
So my final thoughts are basically just once again, thank you to Christy Avery, Sarah Potter, David Herring, and Craig DaCosta, and MVP Barbershop. We raised through them like half of the cost of this project, which is huge. And that was so. Thank you again to all those people. And once
It's just
again,
a matter of time before the rest comes through. You guys are going to get many donations.
So as the donations come through, we're not done upgrading. We do fully intend. I've already purchased a number of the audio cables and the back end work we need. Just need a little bit more help, and we will have live video before too long. So you'll be able to watch us as well.
Fee?
I don't have a
Oh
fee.
my! Spangle has to be fed in cat food, paid in cat food. She did get a free T-shirt.
I did. And this is a great T-shirt.
If you wear that on campus, I'll be stunned.
Oh, I'll wear it.
We want a picture tomorrow, selfie tomorrow.
I'll
From
wear
the,
it.
are
from
people
the bell
going to
tower.
start protesting We Are Libertarians?
Probably. I'll get thrown
I
out
hope
of
so. I have
Libertarians
friends.
protest with libertarians.
I have friends on
We
Facebook
are-
that go to Ball State, and they're like hardcore members of Antifa. And since they have been building the Coke Center up there,
Yeah. Not happy.
Oh my god,
Not happy.
So
it's incredible.
we appreciate it if anybody follows Dakota at bosshogaliberty.com, the
Yep, that's
official
my email.
the official email address. A Tokad Savad on the Twitter.
Yep.
Anything else? Any other way you wanted to hit you up?
Follow me on Facebook again, and
And like and share the page, of course.
oh yeah, like that's the biggest thing. If we are going to start doing the video and we're going to keep growing, especially locally and in other places as well, and of course nationally, but just really like and share the page. That is the biggest thing that you can do to support us.
Awesome. Well, for my final thoughts here, I want to congratulate Dakota on the job he did. I know Kat got sick on us, but Dakota was truly awesome at Morty's Comedy Joint, up on stage for 2
Yes, good
hours
job.
with Greg and Chris. A lot of fun. I was very proud. I was like the scout that found somebody, and he was up there, and I was thrilled for that just because of the success he has.
It was like a league of their own.
It was like
Gina Davis.
It was like I found Kit, and
Yep.
she was pitching.
You found Kit. That's right, Kit and Dottie Henson.
We took the train in from
was
rural
like
Illinois,
in the,
and there he was in the big city.
In the green room, it was like this incredible scene, like from Rudy,
was.
where it was all these people like Creighton Harrington and Chris Galt were coming in, and they were laying down their pairs of headphones, and they were saying, "This
one's for you.
Put Dakota on stage."
Let Dakota play, Coach Era." There's a little picture of Dakota with his hands
As
on.
your father, tears running down my eyes.
There's a little
tear.
picture of Dakota with his hands on a poster, just reaching out to Dave Chappelle.
Yep,
It's
Podcast like a champion.
Dave Chappelle is my inspiration, and it comes from my engineering teacher. He was a huge inspiration as I watched. Well, I don't think I can say the title of the short. but it just made me laugh so hard.
People know. People know Dave Chappelle. If they know, they know, and if they don't, well, you can look it up. So
there are only two that I'm thinking about specifically.
I'm very proud of Dakota. I do want to give a little shout out to my baby brother, Danny Morrell, who was on a previous episode. He was on the episode with us with the van. He's constantly getting himself in trouble on social media.
Not on Twitter. Dan Dockich loves him.
If you listen to Dan Dockich, you hear him talking to Danny Morrell constantly.
Oh, he said I'd cheat, get rich, and quit before they banned me. And Dockich's like, yeah, that's pretty smart. Danny Morrell's got a good head on his shoulders.
Today, are you familiar with the Indiana Pacer Joe Young?
Oh yeah, from Oregon, the shooting guard.
Yeah, so Joe posts this picture of him with a Lamborghini today, Mighty Joe Young 3 on the Instagram.
With his rookie contract?
And he's making like $1 million a year. My baby brother, DP Morrell on the Instagram, if that's your car, I'm sure your financial advisor just shook his head.
Yeah.
Mighty Joe Young replies, D. Morrell, your opinion, your opinion don't matter. And then it spirals from there. And
wait, he said you are opinion?
Your opinion, yeah.
Oh.
And then it turns into Joe Young's sister gets involved, tags in the sister, and the whole family starts yelling at Danny on the Instagram.
Let me tell you something about you that you don't know.
So I just shake my head at him. It's
he's quite the shit poster on social media. I enjoy it, and he's got one of the best sports talk radio hosts in the country. Loves your brother.
Shit posting is not something that you're born with it. I think I was born that way, and so is my brother. Mm-hmm. And now that we live in this world of social media, we just use those skills.
Well, I mean, it came from your parents.
Oh, for sure.
Having played 5 hours of golf with your dad.
Yeah.
You didn't fall far from the tree.
I don't know. You're either born with it or you spend a lot of time with Greg Lenz.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
maybe he's born with
talent. Maybe it's Greg Lenz.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Greg Lenz.
Maybe. I'm not going to say anything.
Oh man. All right. Well, that's the end of the time we have for today. We appreciate everybody that stuck with us. Once again, subscribe on iTunes. Podcast Addict. Obviously, we're on Saturdays and Sundays on Indiana Talks now. You can hit me up, Morrell at BossHogLiberty.com. If you're interested in kicking in towards the continued studio upgrades, jump on over to our Facebook page, and there's a GoFundMe link there, and you can help us finish it up. We've been working on a tagline, Dakota, and we haven't really worked anything out, but I got a new one I want to try out on you, and you tell me what you think.
What is it?
We're going to force more friendship next week.
I like cocaine better.
All right, then. Cocaine it is. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeareLibertarians.com.